Every day, dozens of travelers find refuge from the road at the Palo Pinto Cafe. People like John McConnell and his friends stop to fill their bellies and swap stories before seeking out greener pastures. But this is no ordinary band of rambling men out on a road trip. You see, John prefers an old-fashioned form of transportation, his own 2 feet.
I'm 69, Eddie is 77, and Norm Snyder is 62. So we wanted to show that wasn't any reason for old fogies to sit around on the couch and not do anything when they retired. I was raised out in West Texas. I was raised on an old ranch, and I read everything I could, and I'd read about guys over in England packing a knapsack and taking out and walking, and they'd always have a big adventure. And I always thought, God, what a wonderful thing I'd do to walk across a part of Texas.
You heard right. John McConnell's lifelong dream is to walk across Texas. All of it. From town to town and campsite to campsite, John makes it a point to stop and smell the roses whenever possible, following the road wherever it leads. When his companions go on ahead to scout out tonight's campsite, John will travel alone. Don't worry. This isn't John McConnell's first time to pound the pavement.
How's it been walking? I mean, is it difficult?
Well, yeah, particularly out in the Panhandle, the wind was about 1 week. The wind was from the south, and it was hitting about 30 miles an hour.
Like to blow you over, huh?
You know, and the trucks would go by, it would really almost knock you down. We had heat that I couldn't believe. That's the reason we did it. Supposedly in October, it wouldn't have the heat problem, but it got up to 98 one day. We've all developed blisters.
Haven't thought about quitting at any point, have you?
Well, you know, I've waken up some morning and wondered if this was such a great idea.
In retirement, John walks to further his knowledge of Texas, but in a past life, he walked the beat as a reporter for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. He wandered then, much as he wanders now, seeking insight into the land and its people.
When I worked at the Star-Telegram, I did 2 350-mile walks. I was one of the few columnists that I felt like I had to be there and meet this person and see them and look them in the eye, you know. And I guess 95% of my columns, I actually went to the scene that I was writing about. I did not like to interview people over the telephone. I think being out with nature like this, so it just...
Does it inspire you?
It inspires you. I mean, you can sense, you sense the smell and the sense the hearing of things that the people don't, driving down the road, they don't get to do this.
We caught up with John near the end of his latest trip, and together we strolled along the old Bankhead Highway, exchanging stories. Turns out we have a lot in common with this traveling storyteller thing. We just prefer to drive along the back roads, but John insists walking is the only way to gather the information he needs. Seems John has written more than just newspaper articles, and this long, foot-blistering journey just may turn up between the pages of a book.
I take notes to remember it all, particularly the scenery, and when I meet a person, I will write a description of them. But I write this down, and then when I go back and start writing the book, I will have these notes, and it's just like being there, and it really facilitates my writing. So the book hopefully will be out next spring, and the title of it will be A Walk Across Texas.
Like some ancient sage rambling across the countryside, John McConnell takes each day one step at a time. As tonight's campsite draws near, John's mind wanders along with his feet, reflecting on his trip so far. He's gained a wealth of new experience, made friends of strangers, and explored the natural beauty of Texas. But most of all, John's discovered a piece of himself out here on the road, out where every sunrise promises a new adventure, and every sunset marks a chapter's end.
How many 69-year-old men can say that they've walked 450 miles, across Texas? So it gives you a good feeling about yourself. And gosh, you think, man, this is wonderful, So I really feel like I've been blessed by being able to do this.